Hi, I'm Natalie Boland, and you're tuning into Nequa Media Scene Reflections with Christine Corbin. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So, from when you started until now, how do you think that you've changed through the years?
I think my storytelling abilities through the media have definitely improved, and being able to learn how to tell those stories and learn from the people that I talk to.
Yeah. Why did you start media?
My cousin is in the media field, and seeing kind of like the stuff he worked on and seeing some of his projects inspired me to like want to do it myself.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory?
Being in, because I never really act in anything, so
Yeah.
being in episode 3 of The Roomies was really fun.
I saw it. It was very good. So now, before you leave, do you have any advice to give to any underclassmen?
I think do your blogs on time because they catch up to you, and plan out your projects because it makes it a lot easier to execute them the way you want to execute them when you plan them.
Don't wait till the last minute, like a lot of us do. Where are you going next year?
Rockhurst University. It's in Kansas City, Missouri.
Are you planning on continuing media?
I'm majoring in marketing and minoring in film.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. You were tuning into the 2019 Nequa Media Scene Reflections. I'm Natalie Boland.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to more Nequa Senior Reflections. I'm here with the one and only Ashton Taylor. Ashton, how are you?
I'm pretty good today. Feeling good.
Awesome. So you've been in media for how long?
3 years.
3 years. So you joined since you were a sophomore.
I joined as a freshman and took it freshman and sophomore year. Didn't take it junior year. I wanted to take some business classes and then took it senior year.
You're taking senior year. Awesome. So why did you end up deciding to join media?
I thought media was going to be like a new experience for me. I thought it'd be really beneficial for college and just getting to know like the media equipment, and also my uncle is in like the media field, so I thought it'd be kind of a good experience.
What was it about the class that made you want to stick with it, or even like you said, come back for your senior year?
It was just a really fun class. I love all the people in the class. It was just a good atmosphere. It was just good to like express your ideas through like the use of film.
Have you developed any new skills, over time with like say filmmaking or editing?
For sure. I mean, just from Media 1, like I started off like really bad, to be honest. It was some bad work. And I definitely progressed. I mean, I kind of degressed from sophomore year to junior year, mostly just because I didn't film a lot of stuff since then, but I really like some of my work, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any favorite memories of any projects you've made, or just from the class in general?
Probably my favorite project was definitely filming with Jalen and Kevin for our stapler video for our 7-day. It was kind of a weird video, but it was just really funny in general, and it was just good times with the boys. And one of my other favorite memories was filming chilling with Kev, with Kev himself and Dr. McBride. So, and he knows my name now.
So now, where are you going to be heading next year for school?
I'm going to IUPUI, which is Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis.
Are you going to be pursuing media in any way?
So, I mean, I'm not really pursuing media, but I like to use media in the future, kind of for marketing and stuff like that, like with commercials and promoting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we leave, do you have any advice you want to give to any incoming media underclassmen?
I would definitely say to spend your time wisely. I know this year alone, I didn't use my time wisely, got projects done late, especially blogs. You want to get those done on time, not waste the last minute, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning in to Ashton Taylor Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau. Hello once again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Nequa Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Erin Keener. Erin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So you've been in media for how long?
I've been in for 4 years.
For 4 years. So you joined since you were a freshman.
Yeah.
What was it about the class that made you want to join?
Well, I originally discovered this class through the 8th grade night that we had, where I ended up meeting Mr. G, Miss Trout, Miss Shaw, Mr. Schaub, and you know, we just started talking, and film has always been somewhat of a passion of mine. I was inspired by my uncle, who actually works in LA. He directs commercials and stuff. He's also a writer, and I kind of wanted to follow down that same path, but I didn't know where to start. And by finding out about Nikwa Media, that really just got me on the right track.
Now, what was it about the class that made you want to stay for those next 3 years after your freshman year?
I think this is a class like no other. You know, you have your art classes down in the art hallway, but they don't let me express myself in the way that I really can with media. Like, I'm able to tell stories and entertain people and just do all these things that other mediums of art can't.
Have you learned any new skills or been able to improve any skills over the 4 years with filmmaking?
Oh, definitely. As I've definitely improved my writing a lot, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with the screenplay format. And then I learned a lot about collaboration, because back in freshman year, I was a very like independent person. But as I went through the years of media, I became more collaborative, more open, and I became more of a leader type rather than just like silently working in the corner by myself.
Do you have any favorite memories of any projects you've made or just from the class in general?
Couple of my favorite moments were making the 7 days. Like sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, I participated in the 7-day challenge where we made a short film in 7 days. And each one of those experiences was, although a little bit stressful, it was a lot of fun. And then like my other favorite one was when we went to the Silent Film Festival at the San Filippo estate, and we got to participate, and we actually were one of the finalists. That was a lot of fun as well.
So then where are you going to be heading to next year?
I'm going to be heading to the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign.
Oh, okay. And do you plan to continue media there? Or?
Yes, right now I plan on majoring in journalism, and I hope to have a minor in public relations, and I hope to work with like the different media clubs and sports broadcasting centers there.
And now, before we leave here, do you have any advice you'd want to give to any incoming media underclassmen?
I'd say one of the big problems that I had coming in was like I wanted to start with these grandiose ideas, but you really can't do that. It's not like one of those things you can like just jump into. With media, you start small and you build upon that foundation, and then you can start doing it. So don't bite off more than you can chew. That's something that really frustrated me. Start small and then expand upon it.
Alrighty, thank you for listening to Aaron's Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.
Hi, I'm Natalie Boland, and you're tuning into the Nikwa Media Senior Reflections. And here we have Lauren Marsh. Lauren, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So from when you started until now, how do you think that you've evolved through the years? Did you start your freshman year?
I started my sophomore year.
Okay.
I think I've evolved because like I had really big ideas when I first got in, and I never could like achieve those ideas. So I think like as I progressed, I like shortened my like ideas and made them like not as
More
extravagant.
believable, yeah.
And then I actually like could achieve them.
So other than that, what other skills have you learned?
I learned how to like just like be really creative with everything, because some of the stuff he like gives me, like some of the stuff he gives us as projects are like out there. So like just being really creative and just coming up with new ideas.
Do you have a favorite memory?
So overall, I just like, I love coming to this class every day, so I think like every day is a little memory. But one of my favorite memories though is being in Roomies, because that was just a fun experience and really weird.
Yeah. Why did you start media?
I started because my sister did it. She started her junior year and she loved it, and it was just really cool like seeing everything they made. So I started it because of her.
And why'd you stay?
Just the environment of everyone here, and like coming to this class every day. It's my favorite class. It's just like really fun to be here and create stuff from your head.
Where are you going to next year, and are you planning on continuing media?
Next year I'm going to the University of Kentucky, and I'm going to major in mass communications. So I don't really know what that is, but yeah.
Okay, well it sounds like it'll help.
Yeah, but I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do with a job, but I want to be in the media like field.
Sounds good. Now, before you leave, do you have any advice to give to the incoming people into media?
I would just say like enjoy every little moment of media, because like even the little things in like classes are just like so memorable and so fun to like be a part of, and just like enjoy the whole thing. And time management too, because
that's a big
it really
thing.
just like the like due dates just come out of nowhere. So manage your
They
time.
just pop up.
Yeah, they really do.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in to the 2019 Nequa Media Scene Reflections. I'm Natalie Boland.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Neuqua Valley Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Jack Blanchard. Jack, how are you?
Great.
Awesome. So you've been in media for how long?
This will be my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year, so you joined since you were a sophomore?
Yes.
And what was it about the class media that made you really want to join it?
Well, I joined it initially because freshman year I had a good friend that was in the class, and he loved the class, and I actually acted in one of his music videos, and I just thought it was so cool to see, you know, going from behind the scenes and then acting in it to seeing the final product. I was like, I have to check this class out, and then I took it, and it's my favorite class now.
And then after you took it for that first year, what was it that made you want to stay with the class? Because some people join it and they figure out they don't like it and they want to leave, but what was it that made you want to stay?
I think just going through the entire projects, like seeing how your ideas develop, I thought that was so cool, and being able to edit your own projects and learning the new softwares and stuff. I just thought everything was so interesting, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Have you learned any new skills, whether it be, you know, improving on, you know, your weaknesses with like editing or filmmaking, you know, over the past 3 years?
I think overall planning, because for a project it's a process. Like you have to come up with your ideas, check out cameras, figure out when you're going to film and edit. So it's more than just like time management, it's breaking everything apart and knowing what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So those skills are going to be really important for the future. And then obviously like the skills that I had with cameras, coming in I had no idea what to do. Editing, I had no idea. Like all this stuff I had, you know, zero experience with, so I learned a lot with that.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any favorite memories with any, you know, projects you've made or just from the class in general?
Favorite memories. I think that honestly, just being in the editing bay, you learn something. There's something new every day in there, whether it's Ashton, just being Ashton, or just the guys, and Lauren and Christine. But I think overall, and Natalie sometimes. But overall, I think my favorite memory was probably filming for Chillin' with Kev, because I know how hard Kevin works on that, and being able to be a part of that was really cool. And it was just a fun experience.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if you're going to be next year following through with media, or are you done here?
I'm going to University of Kentucky, and I'm gonna try and join like there's film clubs there where you kind of just, there's no like grade class, because I'm gonna just focus on other classes to start, but I'm gonna join like clubs and do smaller projects and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And now lastly, before we go, do you have any advice you want to give to any incoming media underclassmen?
Some advice, get your projects turned in on time, because when you don't turn them in on time, it adds up and it's super stressful. So just make sure you time manage and do your blogs.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning in to Jack Blanchard's Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.
Hi, I'm Natalie Boland, and I'm with Nate Cobb. And right now you're tuning into the 2019 Nequa Media Senior Reflections. So Nate, you started your freshman year, right?
Actually, I started my sophomore year.
Your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been here for 3 years?
Yep.
So since sophomore year to now, how do you think you've changed, and what have you learned?
Well, I've learned that the best experiences in media are where you just get an opportunity to be involved in everything. I think that's like the best way you can learn, is just to try everything, and it's fun that way. You learn your strengths and weaknesses, and you just get that hands-on opportunity.
Why did you start media?
I saw kids walking around with like tripods and cameras freshman year, and I just thought that'd be really cool to partake in that.
All right, and so why did you stay?
I just think it's a really fun class. I think it's really fun to have the opportunity to create your own projects and kind of do what you want with them, and it's fun to make projects with your friends, you know. I just enjoy that aspect.
Do you have a favorite project you've made or somebody else has made?
Yeah, I recently was able to be a part of Roomies,
I've heard of that.
Yeah, with Lennon, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and to be able to watch that and see how it all came together was really fun.
And see yourself be a part of something so big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think that you've gained a lot of friends from this class, a lot of people with the same interests?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I came in sophomore year, and I don't think I knew anybody.
Yeah.
And even though the class has changed a lot since then, each year I've made new friends, and now it's like some people I've been with, for like 3 years, and because of that, I'm gonna, be friends with them for hopefully a long, long time.
Yeah. Are you planning on continuing media in college?
I am to an extent. I want to go into broadcast journalism, so it won't be the production aspect, but
Yeah.
it will be a form of media, yeah.
And where are you going?
I'm going to Albion College. It's in Michigan.
Okay. So before you leave, do you have any advice to give to the underclassmen who are coming into media?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, just try and get as much hands-on experience as you can, Try editing. I mean, obviously you have to edit, but just work every aspect of media that you can, because you're going to learn what your strengths and weaknesses are, and it's just more fun that way.
And you're going to find something that really sticks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm Natalie, and this is Nate Cobb.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to more Nikwa Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Megan Kosak. Now, Megan, how long have you been in Nikwa Media?
I'm a Production 4 student, so I've been in it since freshman year.
Since freshman year. Now, freshman year, what was it that made you want to join Nikwa Media?
Well, I came to an 8th grade open house night thinking I wanted to do foods classes, and I didn't even make it to the facts table. I saw the media table really caught my eye, so I went over there and found out more about the class, and that's what sold me on it.
So, and you've been here for 4 years since you were a freshman. There's a lot of people who join the class, they figure out it's something they don't like to do, and they end up leaving. But what was it that made you want to stay here?
You definitely get to be creative, and you get to kind of experiment and do what you want with projects. I think that's a good way to learn, and you can learn from your mistakes and just keep improving, because no film or video you ever make is going to be perfect, and there's always room to improve. So taking those corrections and applying them to future videos, I think it has definitely evolved most of my films I've made.
Mm-hmm. Now, over time, what skills would you say whether it's been your weaknesses you've improved on, or strengths that have gotten even better? What was it that's been that you've been able to do better over the past 4 years?
I think cinematically I've gotten better at camera movements and different editing techniques, but I also think just in general communication skills are a big role in it, and teamwork and working together with people to try to make a product you're proud of. So I think with that being said, I've learned communication skills that I have applied outside of this class, and I've gotten more comfortable talking to people and getting out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Now, with all the projects you've made over the past 4 years, do you have any favorite memories of anything you've made?
I really enjoyed the music video I made last year because I had never really made a music video before. I made a PSA in November that I won a scholarship for in a PSA contest, which was really cool. And yeah, I think the 7-day this year, I got to be a leader for it, and that kind of made me realize I could definitely improve on that, just that.
Now, what school are you going to be attending next year?
I'm going to University of Alabama.
University of Alabama. Now, do you plan to continue media?
Yeah, I'm majoring in their creative media program, which is technically film and television.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. And now, before we leave, do you have any advice for any underclassmen that plan to join Nikwa Media?
Don't procrastinate, get stuff done, or else you'll be rushing the last minute. I've learned from that every project, so don't procrastinate.
Good advice. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Megan Kosak's 2019 Nikwa Media Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.
Hi, I'm Natalie Boland, and you're tuning into the 2019 Nikwa Media Senior Reflections. I am here with Remley Hersberg. Remley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, Remley, have you been doing media since freshman year?
I have not. I joined my sophomore year, so I'm in production 3.
Okay. So from when you started your sophomore year until now, how do you think you've evolved and what skills have you learned?
Evolving, I really think it was a lot of the storytelling, which I'm sure is what a lot of people have said. Probably sequencing together a story. I really tried to focus my junior and senior year on the writing aspect because that's really what I struggled with. I could sequence something together that would make sense, but I didn't know necessarily how to tell a story that was engaging and people would want to watch.
Yeah. Why did you start media?
So my freshman year, I actually was in a music video for one of my friends who took media her freshman year, and I had a lot of fun behind the scenes, and so I was kind of curious as to what the class was about, so I took it. It's kind of funny because I didn't know if it was exactly for me, but I stuck with it, and I actually really enjoyed the class.
Do you have a favorite memory?
Probably surprising Mr.
Or
G on his
favorite
birthday.
project. Okay.
Probably surprising
That's a good
Mr. G
one.
on his birthday,
Do you
which
have a
we were a
favorite
day
project?
late.
Yeah, right. Do you have a favorite project?
I really worked on demonstrations 2 years in a row. I had both for how-tos for photography, and so those are probably some of my favorite projects because there's a bit of a growth from one to the next. So those are probably my favorite projects.
And I did one of the how-tos for the crochet one with you.
Yes.
So where are you going to college next year, and are you going to continue media?
I am continuing media. I'm going to college at Texas State University in San Marcos, and I'm studying mass communications.
Okay. So before you leave, do you have any advice to give to the incoming underclassmen?
Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy
goes by
it.
fast.
It goes by so quick. You just kind of gotta. It's stressful trying to get everything done. Procrastination is really hard to kind of muscle through, but just really enjoy it every minute that you get of it.
All right, thank you. I'm Natalie Boland, and you were listening to the 2019 NEQA Media Scene Reflections. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this year's 2019 Senior Neuqua Valley Media Reflections. I'm here with the one and only Lennon Raguso. So, Lennon, you've been in media for how long?
I've been in media all 4 years of high school.
All 4 years since you were a freshman.
Yes, sir.
What was it about the class that kind of caught your eye when you were a freshman that made you want to join?
Really, it was just like a different class than like any other like educational thing, where it like really lets you show your creativity. And for me, like I always like loved movies, so like being able to like create something from your own is like really cool. And yeah, I kind of just fell in love with it the first year and just kept doing it every year after that.
Mm-hmm. We see some people who join and they figure out it's something they don't like and then they leave. But what was it that made you want to stay and made you want to continue your next 4 years with NEQA Media?
I think just continuing like learning like the skills of film, and like once you get better and you see like your work improving, then it makes you want to keep doing it and even just get better from there. So that's pretty much it for that.
Over time, since you've been here for 4 years, what skills have you developed or what weaknesses have you improved when it comes to whether it's filmmaking or editing? What has been your overall improvement?
I think just like making more complex stories and adding on multiple layers to plots when it comes to making a video, instead of just having like a single storyline, like this happens and then that's the end, where you add in like different elements and adding characteristics to like make the story more interesting for the viewer. So I think I improved doing that.
Now, we've seen a very famous project you've made known as The Roomies.
No doubt.
Along the line, were there any favorite memories you had, whether it was filming The Roomies or just in the class in general?
Favorite memories, I mean, filming with like my friends and filming with the people in this class is really fun because everyone's super cool, and I mean it's always a good time. There's always funny moments that'll happen, but my favorite moment was probably last year. Shout out to Pete. He was trying to do a magic trick with his hat, and he hit his head on the wall, and his head started to bleed. So that was funny.
Oh, very nice. So now, where are you heading to next year?
I'm going to COD next year.
COD next year, and do you plan to continue media in any way?
No doubt.
No doubt. What are you going to be doing?
I'm looking to transfer to Columbia after that, and going to like filmmaking, directing, whatever.
So now, before we leave, do you have any advice to incoming media underclassmen who would like to join the class?
Yeah, just like enjoy it, cause really like out of all the classes in the day, this is the only one that I really come to where I like I don't mind coming to. So I mean, like enjoy it, cause the people in here are really fun. Shout out Mr. G, Mr. Schaub, Miss Trout. They're all really cool. But yeah, just enjoy it, cause like once it's done, like I doubt you'll have a class like as good as this like after this school. So yeah.
Well, thank you. That has been Leonard Raguso with his senior media reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.
It's looking good, folks.
Hi, I'm Natalie Boland, and you're tuning into the Nequa Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Ryan Lashock. Ryan, how are you?
Good, thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. From when you started until now, how do you think that you've changed over the years?
I definitely think that I've learned how to manage my time better and, you know, plan around other people's schedules and learn how to work with actors, even if if we have like a certain set amount of time that we need to shoot a short film in, and work with them to get them there, even if we have to go into the late nights for it.
Yeah. So other than that, what skills do you think you've learned?
Definitely storytelling, how to tell more complex stories. Sometimes it doesn't work out, audiences don't get it, but it's still, you're pushing yourself to create something that's better than what you did in the past.
What made you start media?
I was definitely super interested in media for a long time before high school, you know, just watching YouTube videos and watching movies, just being really curious into how it all worked and like, how do I do that?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory or a favorite project you did?
One of the great things about media is if you get yourself involved with a lot of the after-school activities, like the late nights that you have. Weird things start happening when you stay here for over 12 hours, but it's a really fun time and you develop really personal connections with people.
And where are you going next year? And I'm guessing you're continuing to do media?
I am. So I'm planning on going to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, to study computer science plus advertising.
All right. So before you leave, do you have any advice to give to the underclassmen?
For media?
Yes.
I would just say to find a group of passionate people or even another person to just push each other to get better. See what you've not done so well in past films and learn how to fix that and put it into the next film. Or if you can't find another passionate person, look at yourself and see your old work and maybe look up a new technique and try and implement that into a new film and just keep working to make your stories better and more complex and make sure other people know how to understand them.
Yeah, having people support you really helps.
Exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ryan. And I'm Natalie Boland, and you are tuning into the 2019 Nequa Media Senior Reflections.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the 2019 Nequa Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Sam Neruda. Now, Sam, how long have you been a part of Nequa Media?
For 3 years now.
For 3 years. So you joined since you were a sophomore?
Yeah.
So, right when you joined, what was it that was your reason for joining, or what was it that made you want to join Nequa?
Well, I first moved here from Chicago. I lived in the city of Chicago, and like I loved photography. And when I was little, like me and my brother used to film videos on my mom's flip phone. So when we were talking to my counselor, my mom was like, she likes making videos, so. You know, and then he's like, oh, there's a class for it. And then I signed up for the class. So.
Now, over time, you know, people join the class, they figure out it's something they don't like, and they end up leaving. But what was it that made you want to stay a part of Nequa Media?
I don't know, I just like the people and the atmosphere, and I want to like create something, and you know, I want to be like, I made that, you know.
What skills have you learned to better prepare you for the future, whether it be, you know, skills with editing or storytelling or filmmaking? What was it that you've been able to do better over the past 3 years?
Maybe like my storytelling, it got way better because when I first started, it didn't make any sense. And I got like way better over time, and like how I edit got a little bit better, but it's like not great, but like it's okay now.
Any favorite memories of yours that you have, whether it was with projects you've made or just from the class in general?
I think like when we did Free Willy, that was pretty fun.
and just like filming with Remley and everyone and just the class itself and bringing everyone cupcakes on holidays. I think that's like my favorite part.
Yeah. So where are you going to be heading next year?
I'm going to COD for 2 years and then I'm going to switch to Columbia.
Okay, so then do you plan on continuing media then after?
I'm going to try to, but I'm also going to major in photography and history.
Okay. Now, for any advice to underclassmen who are coming to join media, do you have any advice you'd want to give to them?
Try your best. Don't like half-ass something. And just work on your videos and try hard and talk to him. Ask Mr. G if any advice with the videos and stuff.
Yeah. Alrighty, well thank you guys for tuning in to Sam Neruda's Nequa Media Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.
Hi, I'm Natalie Boland and I'm with Sammy Ackerman, and right now you're tuning into the 2019 Nequa Media Senior Reflections. So Sammy, you've been in the media program for about 4 years now?
Yes, I started when I was a freshman.
And how do you think you've changed from freshman year to almost graduating?
Well, I've definitely learned a lot. If that's through writing, especially from being in creative writing and in media, I've really learned how to develop a story and portray that through films. I've learned to use my resources I have, especially like the media resources like the tripod, which is actually really vital to what you're making, because something that small can make a huge difference.
And it's a lot more difficult than it looks.
No, yeah. Yes, I just learned how to, I guess, develop everything more thoroughly, and I learned what makes something like a better film, and like it's like the little things that really make a huge difference.
Yeah. Why did you start media?
I originally started media because my brother had been in it since he was a freshman, and he was always really interested with film, and he just said that the class was a lot of fun and you got to do like a lot of creative things, and so I decided to take it too.
And was he in it for all 4 years?
Yes, he was in it for all 4 years.
So why did you end up staying? Did it just click with you?
Oh, I love the atmosphere of the class. It was always so much fun coming here every day. Each class like comes like a little family, and like everyone has like their space that they go to, and you really get to know people that you probably would have never gotten to know in any other class.
And it's like the same interests and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory?
It's kind of a weird one, but last year, me and Annalise Munn, she graduated. We were in the editing bay, and Peter, he was in our class, he was also a senior that graduated. He was like flipping like a fedora hat that was just like in the studio. He just like found it. And while he was doing it, he kept on trying to like catch it on his head, but then like he banged his head into the wall and he like almost passed out. But then he like walked away, he's like, I'm totally fine. And we were just like, what is happening? So yeah, that was really fun. And like everyone was around for that. We were just like, what? But that was really funny.
Now, before you leave, do you have any advice to give to any underclassmen?
I would probably say, do your blogs. Do your blogs. Yeah, I mean, it's something so simple, and you actually do learn a lot from blogs. There's so many times I'm like, oh, I would never have known that if it wasn't actually for doing the blogs. And you just get to like know so many more things, and you're actually like updated on the times. Work hard, go to class. I don't know, I feel like those are easy things to do that a lot of people just like, they end up not doing and then they fall behind. But yeah, keep up with your work, I guess.
Yeah.
That too.
And where are you going next year?
I plan to attend Loyola University in Chicago, and I will be studying PR.
That's fun. Are you taking any classes involving media?
Well, I kind of picked PR because I think it's like a good medium between what I've learned in like media classes, especially since I've been doing a lot of like the promotional like films for the theater department. I've learned kind of how to like develop something that will like intrigue an audience. So I just want to like go further into that, and I think PR will be like a good fit. So.
Well, thank you so much, Sammy.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have right now, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Natalie Boland, and this is Nequa Media Senior Reflections.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to this year's Nequa Senior Media Reflections. I'm here with the one and only Kevin Daneliak. Kevin.
Hey Jake.
So, you've been in media for how long?
4 years.
4 years, so since a freshman.
Yeah, since I was a freshman.
So, over time, over those 4 years, what have you learned when it comes to, whether it be editing or filmmaking? What have you learned to do better?
Well, obviously, when you start off as a freshman, you're not going to be good at everything, the technical skills like filming and editing. But I feel like some of the most important skills that that you probably develop in media is working as a team and leadership and independence. So more importantly than editing and all that, I feel like I've developed more in life skills and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so why'd you end up deciding to join media?
I was at the freshman year thing where you walk through the main building, and a fellow student of mine's brother, Sammy Ackerman's brother, Will Ackerman, was like, "Hey, Kevin, hop on over to media." And I was like, okay, that's cool, because I used to film little videos of myself in my house that I'm not going to ever show anyone. But now, here I am in media, and I stuck with it, and it's fun.
Good. Do you have any favorite memories over the past 4 years? Because obviously you've been here for a while.
Yeah. So I'd like to think that my media career started junior year when I started Chillin' with Kev. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's my talk show, hosted, edited, directed, produced by Kevin, and it's only me. Every You Choose project we get, that's my favorite memory, just all of Chillin' with Kev.
Now, why did you end up deciding to stay in media? Because there's a lot of people who, they join, they decide that they don't like it, and they end up leaving. But what was it that you decided to stick with in this class?
Well, the thing about media is that it's not really, it's way different than any of your other traditional classes. It's not like there's desks set up and everything. Just kind of working hands-on in the studio, I guess I really enjoyed that, and I liked it better than traditional classes.
So now, for next year, where are you heading, and do you plan to continue media in that?
I'm going to University of Iowa, and I'll be studying communications, which is kind of in the field of media. So, I don't think I'd be studying communications if I didn't have these classes. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we leave, do you have any advice you'd want to give to any incoming media underclassmen?
My advice is to not miss deadlines, especially for the little stuff. For example, last semester, I just didn't do blogs. Now, it's 10 points, so it doesn't seem like it's going to build up, but then it keeps building up. So get the, the saying, low-hanging fruit. If something's easy, it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Blogs are low-hanging fruit. So get the low-hanging fruit, and then you'll be good in the classes.
All right. Alrighty. Thank you for tuning in to Kevin Daneliak's Senior Reflection, and I've been your host, Jake Boudreau. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Nikwa Media Senior Reflections. I'm here with Lauren Fisher. So, how long have you been in media for?
This is my third year in media, so I started out when I was a sophomore.
You were a sophomore. What was it why'd you decide to join media?
Well, it was actually because of Sammy, I think, because she was in the class earlier than me. She said it was a lot of fun, and I needed a class to fill. I was going to take 2D art and design, but then I couldn't take it, so then I took media instead, and I'm really glad I did. I also, in 8th grade, we had to make this book trailer thing, and I went way too into it, and I think that was kind of a sign that I should be making videos and stuff. So.
Did you, over your 3 years with Nikwa Media, did you have any favorite memories, whether it was with projects you've made or been a part of, or just in the class in general?
I have some definitely memorable things that have happened. I don't know if they're my favorite, but I lost an entire project because I kept on clicking OK when warning signs came up. That's kind of funny now that I look back at it. Also, I think more generally, my favorite times have been just hanging out with Mr. G in the room and talking with him and stuff, and that's probably my favorite thing about media.
Have you learned any skills for as far as preparing for the future, whether it be with your editing skills or with filmmaking, anything that you've seemed to improve on over time?
Definitely. I mean, I'm not going into media in the future, but I think there's still a lot of valuable things that I've learned, and I've really kind of expanded my horizons and the things that I know how to do. So it's cool to have that in my back pocket, I know how to work Final Cut Pro and work a camera and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And I don't know, maybe I'll become a YouTuber or something and use that. I don't know, but it's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said you're not planning to continue media next year, but what school are you going to be attending first?
I'm going to University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I'm going to be going on the medical path. Not exactly sure exactly what area yet, but that's where I'm going.
Now, before we leave, do you have any advice for incoming underclassmen for media?
Just put in the effort, I think, is a big thing, because once you put in the effort, then you can get a product that you really like.
Yeah.
And my favorite videos are always the ones that I've put a lot of time in and put a lot of planning in, and I can have those forever and look back at like what I did in high school. I think that's pretty cool that this class allows you to have like that proof of all the work that you did and be something you can really be proud of. So, yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in to the NEQA Media Senior Reflection of Lauren Fisher. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau. Hello again, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to more Senior Reflections. I'm here with Jalen Scott. So now, Jalen, you've been in media for how long?
4 years.
4 years, so since you were a freshman? Now, what was it about the media class that made you want to join?
Well, originally, actually, I went to Crow Middle School, and we had this little class where we kind of dabbled into like film a little bit. Like we had this one project we had to film like a short film, as we called it. And I just thought that was really cool. But then before that, like I've always liked movies, and I wanted to be an actor when I grew up, which I mean, it's kind of cliche for a kid, but I was like always like being on like television or like doing stuff with like television and movies. So when I was signing up for classes freshman year, I saw we had media communication and production. And I was just like hoping it was like going to be a class where we get to make videos, and it actually was. So once I realized like that was what the class was, and I joined for the first year, I just instantly fell in love with it and knew that's what I wanted to do in high school.
Now, since you've been here for 4 years, what was it about the class that made you want to stay for those 4 years?
I think it's just like the creativity. Like in any other class, like you're able to, like say like a normal core class or maybe some electives, like you kind of have a little bit of freedom, but with media, like you can do so many different things. Like you can have a vision to create a short film about zombies, and you can actually go out with your friends and like do that. Like you have creativity that I don't think like other classes at NEQA really offer. So just like the amount of like what I can really do and like how much fun I can have with like doing something I love, I just thought the class was really great by that.
Were there any skills you were able to develop or improve on, any weaknesses with like filmmaking or editing?
Yeah, so every year I kind of had to go. Like freshman year, I kind of was getting used to everything, and then sophomore year I wanted to like get steadier shots, like better looking shots, and like I would just like check out a camera some days and just like play around with it to figure out how do I white balance, how do I make this shot look like this, look like that. And then around junior year, that's when I kind of started to like go more into editing, like what kind of effects can I use, like how can I edit stuff to a beat or like edit stuff a different way. And then senior year, now I'm kind of like put everything together, like all the skills I've learned. So each year I've just been trying to like focus on a specific skill that I kind of struggled on before to put together, so eventually I can get everything into one big, good piece of work.
Did you have any favorite memories of any projects that you've made or just from the class in general?
Probably my favorite memory from a project I've made is when I went to Home Depot, which is now where I work. And me and my friends, we filmed a little like, I think it was like a minute-long short film thing, and it was like about them fighting over a lawnmower. And that was just like really fun because like we got to go in the aisles. Like there was a backflip one of my friends did, and just like overall doing films with my friends, being able to go out with them and like have an idea, and just like all the fun times we have while shooting. But then also in class, like the critiques we do, because sometimes there's some stuff that might be kind of bad that we kind of like get to laugh about and like joke around with. So I think that's really fun with it too.
Now, where are you going to be heading next year for school?
Next year I will be attending Columbia College studying film and television.
Okay, so you are going to continue with media?
Yep.
Alrighty, and then before we leave here, do you have any advice you'd want to give to any incoming underclassmen?
My advice would be just to keep working at it. Like always set goals for yourself that you want to accomplish, and always like work towards those goals. Never give up on it. Like if you want to make your shots look better or you want to get better at editing, just keep practicing it. Look up like YouTube tutorials just to better yourself, and you'll eventually get to where you want to be.
Alrighty, well thank you for tuning in to Jalen Scott's Senior Reflection. I've been your host, Jake Boudreau.